Today, we're diving into the story of VietDak, a Vietnamese agricultural company with a really bold plan to escape a trap that has snared entire countries. It's a high-stakes gamble, for sure, one to redefine its role, and maybe even its nations on the world stage.
Okay, so to really get what they're trying to do, you have to understand the problem. Vietnam is the world's biggest exporter of Robusta coffee beans. But look at this massive gap in value. For every $2 they get for a kilo of raw beans, someone else turns around and creates a product worth $25. That's the economic paradox they're fighting.
And this all begs a huge question, one that leaders in resource-rich nations ask themselves all the time. How can you be #1 in the world at growing something, but still be stuck at the absolute bottom of the value chain? Well, the answer has a name. It's called the commodity trap. So let's break that down. This is the heart of the issue, what's known as the Vietnamese commodity trap. And believe me, it isn't just a problem for one company, it's a massive national economic challenge. The commodity trap is basically what happens when you sell the raw ingredients instead of the finished 5-star meal. You're stuck with these razor-thin profit margins, and you're completely at the mercy of wild swings in global prices that you have zero control over. You do all the hard work of growing the stuff, but someone else gets all the rewards from processing it, branding it, and selling it. This is the very trap VietDak is trying to claw its way out of.
So, how do you escape a trap like that? Well, you need a seriously detailed plan. For VietDak, that plan is their blueprint for growth, and it's a complete teardown and re-engineering of the company from the ground up. And this right here is their new corporate DNA. It's a 3-tier structure that's all about control and efficiency. So at the very top, you've got the holding company. That's the brain, setting the long-term strategy and managing risk. In the middle is the operations company. This is the industrial heart, where every single processing plant is run like its own independent business, its own profit center. And holding it all together are the shared platforms, which provide all the critical support, like quality control and global trading for the whole system. Now, to power all this growth, they're using what they call a dual-engine model. The first engine is their B2B side. That's business to business. This focuses on high-volume commodity trading to get that scale and generate a ton of cash flow. The second engine is B2C, or business to consumer. This is all about building their own brands and retail presence to capture those high profit margins and tell a really powerful story about where their products come from. So you've got one engine for cash and the other for profit. And you know, this whole strategy isn't just about coffee, not at all. It's actually built on a foundation of 5 pillars, and they all share one single vision.
And here they are, the 5 pillars. Each one is set up to be its own profit center, and each plays a really specific strategic role. Coffee, that's the main engine for adding value. Tea is all about building a cultural brand. Rice gives them that huge scale and volume they need. Pepper becomes their engine for setting world-class food safety standards. And cashew is all about mastering optimization and grading.
Let's just use coffee as an example for a second, because it really shows their strategy in action. Think of it like they're climbing a product ladder. They start on the first rung, Tier 1, with raw beans to generate scale and cash. Then they climb up to Tier 2, making instant and extracted coffee to start building their own brands and getting much higher margins. But the real prize, the top of the ladder, is Tier 3, becoming a major supplier of industrial ingredients like coffee extracts and oils for the entire global food industry. That's where the serious value is.
And they're applying this exact same logic to their other pillars. I mean, take tea. The vision isn't just to sell a commodity that gets you a few bucks a kilo. No way. It's to completely transform it into a premium, branded product that can sell for up to $200 a kilo. It's all about branding, telling a story, and being absolutely obsessed with quality.
Now, what's really crucial to understand is that these pillars aren't just operating in their own little silos. They're actually designed to connect and reinforce each other, creating this really powerful, self-sustaining ecosystem.
This is how they build a defensive moat around the whole business. They do it through 6 interlocking loops. It all starts with controlling quality right at the farm level, then moves into deep processing to create more value, and then into global trading so they have direct access to markets. From there, they control their own logistics, they capture those high margins with their own brands, and they use their capital and compliance know-how as a weapon. It's a totally closed system from the farm right to the final customer. But look, a plan this ambitious, this huge, it comes with massive risks. So let's take a look at what they're really up against. A whole world of global risks and how they plan to fight back with what they call local defenses.
And the threats are coming from pretty much every direction. You've got wild swings in commodity prices, super strict new EU standards, a potential credit crunch that could dry up money, geopolitical chaos messing with shipping, and of course rising competition right there at home. Any one of these things could throw a major wrench in the whole plan.
So how do they protect themselves from all that? With a 4-layer defense system. For market defense, they don't put all their eggs in one basket. They diversify their customers. For logistics defense, they use multiple ports and lock in long-term shipping contracts. Financially, they hedge against risks and keep a super tight grip on inventory. And institutionally, they're always talking with policymakers to stay one step ahead of new rules. It's all about being proactive, not reactive.
And all of this, every single piece of this giant puzzle, is leading to their ultimate vision. A fundamental change in their identity, moving from just an exporter to a true corporation. This quote right here, it just sums up everything perfectly. The goal was never just to be a slightly bigger exporter of raw stuff. The real ambition is to become a true agro-industrial corporation, a company that innovates, that processes, and that owns its spot in the global value chain. And this isn't just wishful thinking. They have a very clear roadmap to get there. In the next few years, by 2028, the focus is on getting all 5 pillars standardized and building that absolutely critical coffee extraction plant. The long-term vision, by 2035, is to complete the transformation, to go from a simple commodity exporter into a true ingredient corporation that the world's biggest food companies depend on. So, in the end, this story about VietDak is so much more than just a business case study. It's a test. It raises this huge, provocative question: can one company's blueprint actually do more than just make money? Can it go so far as to redefine an entire nation's economic destiny?